Hey, you guys, it is late at night, hence the pajamas. These are my new pajamas. Actually, fun story. I usually stock up on my pajamas right about now because Kmart is where I get my flannel, like, matching tops and shirts and stuff. And I get the Joe Boxer ones. I love them. But usually right around Christmas they put them on sale, 2 for 1, which they're like $20, so you get a pair of pajamas for $10. And since my old pajamas were like falling off of me, they were like size 2 and 3X, or possibly even larger, I'm not sure. But anyway, they were falling off me and like getting really ratty at the feet where I'm walking on them, and I was tripping on them and stuff. So I was like, okay, let me go. And I found these, which I love. Can't really see how bright the colors are on this camera, but still. And I found a pair of Sugar Skull ones that you'll see later, I'm sure. And they didn't have. I was looking for the 1X's, and thinking about how fun it was going to be to buy a 1X, and they didn't have the two pajamas I wanted. So I picked these two other ones that were kind of ugly, but still a little bit cute. And at the very last minute, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get just the normal extra large. Not plus size extra large, just the normal extra large, which I understand is still large, but not plus size large. And they fit awesome! Like, totally killer. Totally happy. But that is not what this is about. No, it's not. This video is actually in response to, I posted my weigh-in video earlier, and I got a comment on it from Bright Night 02. Hello, hello. Damn, today was the dang conference. I suck, you guys. I totally forgot it was Thursday. I weighed in. I flippin' was off, and I weighed in, and I just totally slipped into Saturday mode. This sucks. Oh, okay. Get over it. Clear my mind. Okay. So Bright Night 02 commented, and she said, this was her whole comment. 61 pounds is awesome. I think if you're at the quit point, you did the right thing by switching back, but you didn't say what the hard part of PointsPlus was. I still struggle with not having a slider card. My friend is also switching back to Momentum. First of all, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for recognizing that my decision was my decision for me. It doesn't say anything about the people who stay on PointsPlus. It doesn't say anything about the PointsPlus system. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying Weight Watchers doesn't have scientists that are way smarter than me. I'm not saying that people who don't switch back are bad. I am not saying any of that. And yet, a lot of people, because I'm very honest, I am all about just telling the truth. Like, here's the truth. I'm not going to sit there and let you pat me on my back for losing a pound and not be honest about what I'm doing. And when they say, oh, what did you do? I'm not going to be like, oh, I totally love the free fruit. I'm not eating, that's not what I'm doing, okay? So I was very honest in my meetings. I went to 2 meetings today. I went to the one where I weighed in, and I went to the one in my town, which is nowhere near as good as the Saturday one. What? Okay. But still, whatever. So in the first meeting, they were like vicious about it. Because she said, oh, how'd you lose your pound? And I was like, well, honestly, I myself had to switch back to Momentum because this new thing is just not working. And that was it. Like, people went off, and it was like I was saying curse words in church, kids. I don't know. I'm whatever. So this is my decision for my journey, and I thank you for recognizing that I made a decision for me. Second of all, not having a slider sucks, because even though I have calculators coming out the wazoo, which is really a stupid saying, but still, I always use my slider. Not having a slider sucks. Okay, but that wasn't the hard thing. Here is what happened in my brain. And I always say that I am constantly researching. I'm always, a big thing for me has been becoming what's the word? Educating myself. Like, I feel like people need to educate themselves. And that's in a lot of things. You need to know what you're doing, and you can't just sign papers and not read them. You can't just exist and not know what's going on around you. If you do, you're not fully reaping the benefits of being here. That's how I feel about it. So I educate myself. I read. Now, I myself could not let go and embrace free fruit. I can't. And here's the reason why. Because a medium apple has 80 calories, has 22 carbohydrates, 5 grams of fiber, 1 gram of protein, 0 fat, and 16 grams of sugar. I cannot, in my mind, get the whole, oh, now we're focusing on carbohydrates, and know what that amount of carbohydrates would do to a piece of bread. It would make it like 2 or 3 points, but because it's an apple, it's free. I just can't. Like, it just doesn't work in my head, okay? Grapes, like 2 cups of grapes are like 31 carbohydrates and 120 or so calories and a lot of sugar, and it just didn't feel right for me. I like the system where if it works out mathematically that it's 0 points, it's 0, but if you eat too much, it becomes 1. Or where you give up your points for your fruit. That works better for me, 1. But that wasn't the main thing. That wasn't the only thing. It was like a combination of things. The next thing was that I felt extremely punished for some choices. I feel like I am a very good, like, I incorporated, like, on my old plan, I incorporated 6 to 8 points of fruit every day. Some days more, some days less, not less, that was it, but some days more. And I was comfortable with that. And I only ate carbohydrates like once, maybe twice, but not usually. And stuff like that. Like, I was already eating well. I wasn't abusing the plan. But on days when, like, I just had to have pretzels, or on days when I just had to have something, I did not feel bad about going to get it. Just the whole, you don't feel deprived. But on this new plan, I was feeling really guilty about it because it's so obviously the wrong choice, or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But for me, it was just really clicking and driving home, like, as punishment and as bad. And, like, I just was not able to just relax and go with it. And I tried, I did really try, but it just didn't work for me. I found it like illogical, if that makes any sense. Like, I just can't. I don't know. So what was happening was I was still counting my fruits, but now, like I was like, okay, I cannot take in these calories and these carbohydrates and the sugar and all this stuff and not count it. I can't. So, like, even when I wasn't journaling the points in my head, I was counting the points and then feeling like sick and dizzy with how much and how many points I was using. Because it's kind of wild how many points fruit adds up to quickly, especially now that higher carbohydrates equal higher points, because fruit kind of has a lot of carbohydrates in it, some fruits. So that was what happened for me with the whole PointsPlus. My dear bright night, that is what happened. And so that this is not all just, I mean, I hope y'all don't think I'm being negative, because I'm really not. Like, if this is just my experience. I am so glad it's working for people. because it's like a sisterhood, you know. You go to meetings and you hurt for the people who are hurting and working hard and not getting the results. So I am very, very glad. But for me, I was not comfortable with it. I kept my books and stuff because maybe one day I might change, but I just couldn't. I couldn't. My brain thought about it way too much to relax into it. I feel like on Momentum, I am accounting for everything that I'm eating. Where on PointsPlus, I was starting to make myself calorie count in the background and count my fruit in the background. I had like all this like background gears going, and I could not relax and enjoy it. So there you go. But here, fun thing, I went and I got myself a Christmas outfit. And while I'm not ready to show you the whole outfit, I'm going to show you one of the best things about it. Now, you guys know me by this time. And I don't know, a lot of you are newer subscribers, so I don't know if you went back and saw any of the videos. But in one video, I confessed for my love of slut shoes. Did it again, kids. Christmas brings the slut shoe. But this time, it's got a poof. Can you see that poof? I love it. It's like a little... It's a poof! I don't even know how to say, like, what else to say. But, okay. Now, I'm going to do something ridiculous, which is going to be very reminiscent to a yoga move. But it's not. I'm sure. Maybe it is. I don't know. I've only done yoga once. But look at that. Love the slut shoe. Love it. You gotta love it. And, like, it's my only pair now, because after the Christmas party where we wore the red ones, I can't find one. That's how you know it's a good night, when you lose a shoe. Or both. Whatever. Alright. So that was my answer, and feel free to comment, but please don't hate and bash, and please don't take offense. I am, like I said, not... This is just me. It's just my opinion for me.